Elon Musk today launched Grokipedia. In this video, we'll do an expert analysis of Grokipedia launched by Elon Musk XAI. Now, this is not just another website, it's an ambitious attempt to fundamentally redefine online knowledge and challenge the existing model of consensual, community driven information. Our analysis today will focus on the core structure, ideological intent, and long term implications of this new platform. Let's get started. Grokipedia, launched on October 27th, 2025, is a centralized, algorithmically driven attempt to upend the system. It's explicitly positioned as a direct rival to Wikipedia, Musk claiming it will eliminate the woke or ideological bias that he perceives. The system is powered by the proprietary Grok large language model LLM, which is tasked with autonomously generating, synthesizing, and fact checking all content. The aggressive mission is the pursuit of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the. However, the version 0.1 launch immediately reveals that this project is defined by three critical structural paradoxes that temper its claim of objective truth seeking. The first one is the dependency dilemma. It relies heavily on the very content it condemns, meaning Wikipedia, to achieve scale. It has simply replaced decentralized human consensus with a centralized, engineered algorithmic bias. And then there is a transparency gap. Its claims of fully open source are contradicted by the proprietary nature of its core engine. To understand Wikipedia, we must first understand its motivation. The ideological catalyst for this project is Elon Musk's public critique that Wikipedia is filled with propaganda and is fundamentally losing its objectivity, a charge he makes frequently. Grokipedia and the Grok AI chatbot have been given the mission statement: the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the whole truth. The belief is that by eliminating the variability and perceived bias of human editors, and artificial intelligence can deliver a purer form of this sets the stage for a conflict. The decentralized human consensus of Wikipedia versus the centralized, machine driven objective of XAI. So let's look at each one of them. Despite its mission to supplant Wikipedia, Grokipedia has a fundamental problem of scale, which leads to its first paradox, the dependency dilemma. At launch, Grokipedia had approximately 885,000 articles. This number is dwarfed by its rival. Wikipedia's English language version alone contains over 7 million articles. To achieve even that initial scale, Grokipedia articles are often adopted directly from Wikipedia and carry an explicit Creative Commons license attribution. Essentially, they used the unpaid labor of the editors Musk mocks as a strategic catapult. In response to this criticism, Musk has promised a huge commitment to phase out all Wikipedia content by the end of the year and transition the platform entirely to the original AI generated material. The V1.0 release is targeted to be a 10 times improvement over the current version, an enormous computational task. Now, Elon Musk has achieved impossible things before, and I am not in a position to challenge what he's saying. Elon Musk has achieved a lot of impossible things. So let's leave it at that. Now, how exactly does the system work? The Grok engine is an autonomous knowledge generation system powered by the proprietary Grok LLM. It operates in three continuous steps. The first one is data ingestion. First, the AI reads immense data sets from online sources, pulling in information from across the web. The second one is AI analysis, the critical step. The AI classifies every claim it reads into categories: partially true, false, or missing context. This proprietary algorithm is the core truth seeking mechanism. And the third one is synthesis. Finally, the AI dynamically rewrites this information into cohesive articles which are continuously updated as new data is processed. The entire system is designed to remove the human editorial layer, but this automation is where the next paradox emerges. Now, Grokipedia and Wikipedia use very different approaches to editing. Grokipedia relies on a central AI, while Wikipedia uses many volunteer editors. With Grokipedia, users can only suggest changes, but with Wikipedia, users can directly edit and discuss content. Wikipedia says its facts are checked by Grok, but Wikipedia uses human citation, and peer review. Wikipedia has many more articles, over 7 million, compared to Grokipedia's roughly 885,000. Grokipedia's main goal is to find the maximum truth, while Wikipedia aims for a neutral point of view. The final paradox is the contradiction at the heart of Grokipedia's claim of openness. Musk has stated that Grokipedia is a fully open source, a claim that falls apart under scrutiny. First, the core Grok LLM remains proprietary. It's a black box, a trade secret, which is critical because it is the engine that determines truth from falsehood. Second, no public source code repository has been released for the platform itself. The lack of transparency means that the critical AI algorithm that performs the truth seeking function is not auditable by the public or researchers. This complete absence of verifiable transparency fundamentally undercuts its mission to be a superior, unbiased authority. The goal was to eliminate human bias. The result, however, is that the decentralized human consensus has been replaced by a centralized algorithmic bias. The AI is not the objective arbiter. It inherits systemic biases from its proprietary training data and, crucially, from its fine tuning instructions. This leads to a detectable ideological skew in sensitive subjects. Let's take an example of gender. Now, Grokipedia's definition often begins with a binary classification of humans as male or female based on biological sex. This contrasts starkly with Wikipedia's broader scope, which includes a range of social, psychological, cultural, and behavioral aspects. Furthermore, related articles frequently rely on controversial or contested studies and link non binary identities to clinical concepts, suggesting a persistent, targeted framing. The claim, fact checked by Grok, should therefore be viewed as mechanism of ideological filtering, not neutral verification. The failures of Grokipedia are not just ideological, they also extend to fundamental factual accuracy, which highlights the weakness of relying solely on automated AI synthesis. Now, we have observed a clear pattern of self promotional framing. For instance, the entry on Elon Musk uses rapturous terms and crucially cites XAI's own website for verification, a severe conflict of interest that reduces the entry to promotional material. There are also notable timeline errors. One entry incorrectly stated that a figure like Ramaswamy assumed a prominent role at Doge after Musk's May departure, when he had actually quit in Jan. Now, these kinds of basic errors are hard to correct when the final authority rests with a proprietary black box rather than a community of editors. Now, if you look at this picture, it illustrates the core philosophical difference between the two platforms, a battle between centralized control and community governance. On the left, Grokipedia is a centralized AI model. Final authority rests entirely with XAI. Users are explicitly prevented from making direct edits. They can only suggest revisions via internal forms. On the right side, Wikipedia is decentralized model driven by volunteer editors, peer review, and consensus moderation. The danger of the centralized model is that if the Grok LLM propagates a systemic error, the correction mechanism is slow, relying on internal XAI review, while the error propagates at the rapid speed of AI generation. The most significant long-term value of Grokipedia is not its current utility as a public reference site. It's a strategic corporate asset. The real goal for Grokipedia to serve as proprietary foundational infrastructure or training future ideologically aligned Grok AI models, while competitors rely on public, community-generated data like Wikipedia. XAI can operate a closed-loop system. Now, this creates a competitive advantage. The Grok LLM gains a distinct worldview based on this curated data. In effect, Grokipedia formalizes the trend towards knowledge fracturing. It creates a structurally and ideologically opposed knowledge source, ensuring that future search results and AI outputs will increasingly reflect these divergent bases of truth. To recap the timeline of this massive commitment, the system launched on October 27, 2025 as a version 0.1 with 885,000 articles and a partial dependency on Wikipedia. The end of 2025 is the promised deadline to phase out all Wikipedia content and move to fully AI generated material. The future V1.0 target release aims to be 10 times improvement, requiring a massive computational investment to match Wikipedia's scale while also maintaining ideological alignment. This trajectory highlights the need for stakeholders to take immediate action. So, based on the analysis, we have three key recommendations for various stakeholder groups. For AI developers and competitors, they must engage in defensive data curation, implement filtering mechanisms to categorize knowledge bases like Grokipedia by the stated ideological learnings. This prevents your own LLMs from being inadvertently skewed by the proprietary curated data. You must also advocate for greater transparency mandates. For organizations and content creators, you should develop AI resistant content, data structured with such verifiable rigor and depth that it cannot be easily synthesized, overwritten, or skewed by centralized LLMs. You must also actively monitor Grokipedia entries for reputation management. For regulators and media analysts, the creation of governance frameworks for these large scale proprietary AI driven knowledge platforms focusing on mandatory transparency regarding source data and, most importantly, the algorithmic logic behind classifications of true or false. We must also actively monitor this ideological fracturing of knowledge. Now, in summary, Grokipedia is fascinating, if paradoxical, experiment. It has merely replaced the potential bias of human consensus with a documented, engineered algorithmic bias. Its success will ultimately be measured not by its article count, but by its ability to become the definitive proprietary source of truth for the Grok AI model, thereby shaping the worldview of a major global AI system. With that, we come to the end of the show. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show. And if you learned anything, please join us as a member. All you have to do is go to the description, and at the very bottom, you'll find the links to becoming a member of the AI with Arun show. Thank you so much for watching.